it happens once in life where you're like, I'm the best person in the world to do this right now. Maybe somebody else will come along later, but for right now, this is mine. No, it was kind of a remarkable fit. I had been a fan of the movie since I was a teenager, and I came in through a meet, actually. I had starred in a show at the Steve Allen Theater called The Beastly Bombing, which was a lighthearted comedy about terrorism written in Gilbert and Sullivan style. I was playing the president as kind of like a demented modern major general figure. A really fun show, but a meet suggested me to Stuart, and he's just like, you should see this guy for West. So I went in originally for West, and I memorized the songs, and I studied the movie, and I just put my all into it, and I didn't get it. And I remember being crestfallen, kind of heartbroken, and looking up, who is this Graham Skipper with his saucy pot in the photo naked picture on his website? Who the hell does he think he is? And I always like to tell people, I make a great second choice. So when you're like really in trouble, please call me. And the original Dr. Hill dropped out at the last minute, right before they went into production. So Amit, God bless him, encouraged Stuart to consider me again. And this time I was determined, like, well, I'm gonna bring the opera technique, I'm gonna come in my best toupee and age makeup and a suit, looking like an insane person. But just to convince them that at 32, 33, I could convincingly play older in a small theater. And thank God he didn't call my bluff. He came up to me in that Sphinx-like way with those Coke bottle glasses of his and squinted at me. He's just like, how old are you? And it was just like, not a question you want to answer in an audition, but I was like, let's do it. I swear, I'm 33, but I can do this. Give me a chance. But it was such an amazing experience, and we really miss him. He feels with us very much today. It's a lot of us, we haven't actually been together
Don't
since.
you worry.
Oh, no kidding, yeah. But like, literally, the last time we all saw each other was probably at his memorial 5 years ago, so it's wonderful to be back.
Speaking of Chris, you and my dad had worked together on a movie called King of the Ants. Oddly enough, not a musical. Which...
Mark, get on it.
Yeah, not yet, I should say. But I think everybody was very surprised to hear that, or to learn that you can sing. Tell us how that all unfolded.
Yeah, I worked with Stuart on King of the Ants originally, and then we had done some other little things together, and I helped him in classes and stuff. And then one day he called me and he said, "You can sing, right?" I said, "Well, I've done some musicals. Come down, you're gonna sing." And so
good enough. Sounds good.
And so George Wendt and I were like the original cast members, which was really cool. And I thought the idea was crazy, and we met at Mark's living room. Is that right? Yeah. And did the original read through of it, and I couldn't believe how clever it was, and how funny, and how sharp, and it was not at all what I was expecting. It exceeded all expectations. And so, yeah, I was lucky enough to be part of this from the very beginning, and we ended up doing it for, 5 years, on and off, maybe more. And it led to, we did other plays with Stuart too. We did Taste the play afterwards, which was...
Taste!
But this was such an incredible thing, like the whole, it happened to all of us. It's a whole section of my life that is just fake blood, and fluids, and love, and doing this show over and over again, and that was amazing, and I'll always be grateful to Stuart for everything he gave me in all of our collaborations, but this was special, obviously.
And first of all, I feel the need to, I think to be the keeper of the syringe.
Oh my.
This is
heavy duty stuff.
Yeah.
Chris, bend over.
Shout out to my husband for getting that prop working, by the way. My husband, Brandon Allen.
This is incredible. Hi.
That's from the original stage production. Obviously, Herbert West is an iconic character, originated by Jeffrey Combs. Tell us about how you came into the role and how you put your own spin on it, maybe with the help of my dad's direction, or how you guys kind of worked that out, like not making it an incarnation of Jeffrey.
Yeah, so I knew George from doing comedy in New York. I was living in New York at the time, and but I happened to be on vacation in Las Vegas, and I was sitting on the toilet, and George Wendt calls me. Now, when George calls you, you answer. So I answered, and he was like, "Hey, have you ever heard of the movie REANIMATor?" I'm like, "Yes, where's this going?" And he says, you ever heard of Stuart Gordon? I'm like, yeah, I was a horror kid. So I was like, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Stuart Gordon. And he goes, okay, well, he's doing a musical version of Reanimator, and I've recommended you to audition for Herbert West. And anyway, Stu's gonna call you in about 5 minutes. So I talked to Stuart, not in the toilet. And that was the first time we spoke, and he sort of explained, it was so funny too, because he was like, I made this movie back in the 80s called Reanimator. I'm like, yes, yeah. And anyway, I canceled my plane ticket back to New York. They sent me the music, and I rented a car, drove from Vegas to LA, just listening to the music on a loop so that I could learn it. I drove straight to Mark Nutter's house, walked in, met Joe Begas, a little young, sweet babe Joe Begas, who handed me sides, and then I walked in and I met.
I should say that Joe acted as my dad's assistant.
Yes,
for
yeah,
years,
Joe.
For anyone that doesn't know, yes.
Yeah, and he's
wonderful guy.
Yeah.
Now he's a filmmaker.
Yeah, he's
on his own, so.
Yeah, he's a filmmaker, and he's a good friend. I've done a lot of work with him, and anyway, I met him, and then met Mark and Stuart and Dean, and they were sitting around the table, and
Dean Schramm,
producer,
and also my father's agent, who decided to put his own money into getting the Reanimator music.
God bless that man.
Which my dad actually advised him against doing.
And I sang the music, and what was really amazing was then it was a couple weeks later, and I was back in New York, and Stuart called me to tell me that they decided to go with someone that Ezra, who he'd already worked with, to play Herbert, and he called me. I've never had that happen before, where somebody calls and says, you were really great, but we decided to go with someone else. It's not you, it's just whatever.
Ezra Godin.
Yeah, Ezra Godin.
Star of Dagon.
And I was like, oh, no problem, thank you, this is great. He was just so gracious. And then after that, they decided to go with me ultimately, and I was so excited, and that's what spawned me to move to LA and start working in horror, and it changed the course of my life. And I owe George and Stuart both so much. And then just talking about how to approach the character, like first thing that Stuart said to me when I sat down with him was, he said, I don't want you to do a Jeffrey Combs impersonation. He said, I want this to be its own Herbert, and he and we were talking, and one of the first questions he asked me, I'll never forget this, he goes, so I want to, you've been thinking about the character a while. I said, yeah. He goes, do you think he killed the cat? and I was like, what do you think? He goes, I want to hear what you think. And I said, I think he probably killed the cat. He goes, he killed the cat.
100%.
Stuart was he was incredible to work with. He was someone who was eminently collaborative and always invited discussion and wanted play and wanted to always push as far as we could and always wanted to find new stuff. One of my favorite stories about Stuart is the very last performance ever of the show. We were in Vegas. We'd done 400 plus performances of this thing at this point. And Stuart comes up to me 5 minutes before curtain of the very last show, and he has a note for me. He wants me to change a line. It's a pretty significant note. It's at this point I'm doing this thing rote, and he's wanted you to do this. And I say, Stuart, this is the very last show. We didn't have any plans to do it again. I said, we've been doing this thing for 5 years, and you're giving me a note now? And he goes, yeah, it's the last time we have to get it right.
I remember you sharing that, and that is so our dad. You were telling me that, and my sister was like, yep, that's dad. I feel like we should do a song. Yeah! That time, guys.
All right.
You guys wanna,
Are we getting up here? Is that the plan, or gonna stay up here? Does anyone like that?
Yeah, let's stay up
I think
here.
we're gonna do He's Dead. You guys remember that one? Yes.
Anybody here?
Who, yeah, I will move.
You'll have to picture the corpse. We don't have one. We have a volunteer. All right.
All right, he's dead.
Rehearsal, by the way.
Yeah, forgive us. It's too soon to stop, it's too soon to call out after all the care we gave her. I'm not tired at all, I won't quit, not now, not if we have a chance to save her. She isn't really gone yet. The drugs need time to circulate. It's not too late, I know she'll respond. We can bring her through, we have so much more to give her. She will live again.
She's dead. She's dead, Dan. And dead is dead, Dan. You need to drop it now and go do something else instead, Dan. A doctor should know when to stop, Dan. So stop, Dan. Though your concern is touching, you're wasting time by clutching onto some illusion. Cut it out. Be realistic. Don't be optimistic. It's done, Dan. So go tag her toe, 'cause she's dead, Dan.
But we're this woman's only hope. It's our responsibility. Why can't you see if you were in this bed, you would want to know your staff would not forget you and would not let you die.
She's dead. She's dead, Dan. And dead is dead, Dan. She took her final bow. Why can't you get it through your head, Dan? Her dreams have vanished up in smoke, Dan. She croaked, Dan. The heart machine is idle. Her total lack of vital signs should be a tip-off. Tell us what's the point in staying? It smells like she's decaying. Be smart, Dan, and wheel her away on the car, Dan.
Meg,
Dan, I had a break from my classes and I thought that we might meet. And we did. And it's good. Oh my God, is that a corpse beneath the sheets?
tonight we have a study date.
Let's start at 7:30, please. We'll hit the books and we'll cram and we'll pound all that knowledge, all that juicy knowledge into our memories. She moved, I swear I thought she breathed just there. No, she's dead, Meg. She's really gone, Meg, just like we said to Dan. So you saw an exhalation, hooray, congratulations. She's dead, Meg. Okay, she exhaled, but she's dead, Meg.
See you later.
Bye.
My research into dying tells me there's no denying the brain lives longer after death than we had first surmised.
I knew it in my bones. She wasn't dead, and so this comes as no surprise.
How long since she flatlined?
15 minutes.
Oh. She's dead. She's dead, Dan. She's out of time, Dan. The rule is hard and fast. The brain can only survive 6 to 12 minutes. Then after that, case closed. Too late to fix her. Prepare to 86 her. Cash her chips in for her. Find a crate where you can store her. Stick a toothpick in her. Tell the worms it's time for dinner. Stove's cold and fire's hot and water's wet. And she's dead. She's dead, Dan.
It's been a minute.
I have to say, you guys are ready to take this right back onto the stage. We're warmed up here, and we're ready. Wow, that's great. This is kind of a question to you all, which is that this was obviously a crazy show with a lot of crazy effects, crazy gags. I would love to know just what was your favorite gag in the show?
Splash zone.
Splash zone.
I absolutely loved getting to wrestle with a sentient intestine that was also a blood hose that I got to spray liberally on everybody in the first several minutes. It remains one of the great joys of my life. It was so fun, but the greatest moment of all was when Stuart finally decided on the last night of one of our runs to sit in the front row. I was merciless. I remember I saw a look on, because he would always, more blood. It was always what he said, more blood. And I saw a look on Stuart's face that night where I saw him regret. I was getting him right in the face, and it was like I could feel him inside saying too much. There's never too much, Stuart.
You totally were, and the reason I know is because I was sitting next to him.
That was great.
Yeah. Actually, that's an interesting point, which is in the previews of the show, the big note that my dad consistently got from audiences was more blood, and how do you get more blood? And so, Amit, I have to ask you, at the Steve Allen, how did you guys decide that this was like cool to have a splash zone, and how did you recover?
We had already crossed that bridge with a show called Hollywood Hell House. There were still bloodstains in the carpet from Hollywood Hell House that never came out. So the CFI, which is where the theater was housed, kind of accepted that working with me meant shows with blood. And by the time the theater was torn down, there were bloodstains everywhere that did not come out. The ceiling from Reanimator was covered in blood. Absolutely, it was so boring and wonderful. But yeah, they just accepted it. Hell House just destroyed their ability to compromise, and they just.
The recipe for the blood, I believe, was mixed with baby shampoo in the hopes that it would wash out of clothes, but
It would never wash
apparently
out
not.
of Graham.
None of the secret.
Graham walked around with red ears for years.
I walked around with red ears, a red nose, a red everything. Oh, that doesn't sound right. Everything was red. I remember being backstage and having to very quickly clean all the blood off of myself after the shovel decapitation scene. And I remember Rachel and Liesl backstage as I'm quickly just ripping off my shirt and scrubbing shaving cream all over my body, desperately trying to get it. That's the only way to get the red off. And they were like handing me water, and at the Steve Allen, there was no sink, so it was literally a bucket, that I'm like dunking my head in. Theater.
I would pose for photos in front of him while he was doing that, like, oh, what's happening in the background? So, it was very fun.
They get to have so much fun, Jesse and Graham, and that, Rachel and I run around going, oh no, you mustn't, oh no, you can't, but I love you. So we get to have nearly as much fun as everybody else. So I did look for ways to get my fluids onto the audience. And Stuart let me work in too, where I got to throw up chicken noodle soup into that man's mouth every chance I got. And my personal favorite gag, because it was a niche thing, was that when we had to, early in the play, when we end up on the vertical bed, we have to do a change. And Rachel and I love making noises in the dark. And I finally came up with the idea of putting some moisturizing soap in a bowl behind the pillow. So in the dark, while we're vamping, and in the dark, you can hear, I squirted into the crowd as we climax. And it only hits like 2 or 3 people in the dark, and you hear a couple people go, oh. And the whole crowd realized what must have happened, and it was so satisfying. So that was my favorite.
But as the show went on, we had a lot of repeat people coming 3, 4, 5 times, and thank you all very much.
Any of you here?
And so the splash zone became the desirable place to sit. People were jockeying for it, and toward the end of the run, we had people showing up wearing all white.
Yes.
Sitting in the front row, just holding their, just receiving it. And so the splash zone sort of went back maybe 4 rows, sometimes 5. I mean, it depends on, you know, how I was feeling. Right, because
I will say on the night that like Jeffrey and Barbara and everybody came and Bruce Abbott came to the show, I asked Stewart's permission. And I said, I really want to spray them with blood. He was like, well, they're sitting out of the splash zone. And I said, does that matter? And Stewart said something to the effect of, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was singing my song and I saw them back row, or like sitting like 8-9 rows back. And they saw me lock eyes. I'd never met them. And I started to raise the intestine up and I saw all of them just duck beneath the seats. Again, formative memories. Oh yeah, you need a microphone.
Yeah. With that said, well, you guys kind of answered it, but any incidences of props malfunctioning, things going wrong, unexpectedly?
I have a memory of someone in the audience throwing liquid back onto the stage.
Oh.
Right? I think it was a cup of coffee, but they had been doused with so much blood. The guys said, well, I guess we can do it right back again.
Somebody threw
Yeah.
a cup of hot coffee on Mark Beltzman during a show.
No.
He probably deserved
He
it.
probably.
Love you, Belty.
Can I say my favorite gag, which is Jesse's transformation into a headless character?
Of course.
It was
I
such
wanna
a
ask
feat
about
of
the
live
choreography.
theater. It's so cool to see that in the movie, but pulling that off live was so
They
exciting.
did that so smooth.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah, it's
It
not
was a thrill
possible.
because it was like a 19th century, saw a lady in half, kind of a decapitation illusion, and the fact that we do it in front of everybody, and he hit me with a shovel. I would go down like a corkscrew, and you wouldn't even see how my body double was kicking out and playing the rest of the scene while I'm getting under the table. And there were nights where the head switch would happen, we'd hear people gasp when my eyes came open. They didn't realize. It was so elegantly done. And also, if you see over here this wonderful picture of the rig that John
John
Shane and Nolan built,
Nolan,
you
Tony
can see
Dublin,
my
this is their magic,
Iron
you
Maiden that I
guys.
would have to climb into. And the first time you see the decapitation, there's a gown on top of it, but the first time you see him on stage with the zombified Dean Halsey, you start singing and then suddenly he starts walking and then you get these tiers of reactions. People respond to it moving, and then you're dancing in it, and then you're on wheels on a wet stage. It was thrilling. But yeah, particularly the tango and the head switch was the highlight for me.
Should we do another song?
Yeah.
If you're ever alone.
Oh, we're jumping to the end? Okay.
Oh no, like this is.
Is that, or am I the next one?
Black Gas, yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh, Black Gas